Good morning. It is the most exciting, wonderful, extraordinary day. Do you know why? We're going to be reading our first story in our letter book. So, we're going to start out with the title of our story. So, every story has a title, essentially a name. And so, this is the title of our story. T-A-G. Tag, tag, tag. I'm going to put it right up there so that we can remember what the title of our story is. So you'll remember that we worked a little bit with tags earlier in the week, but this was a different kind of tags. The tags that I showed you were like labels. You might put a price tag on something, or you might put a tag on a present that tells who it's to. So they're used for labeling. We're talking about a game called tag. So some words have multiple meanings, and the word tag does. So we're going to be talking about the game tag today, and that is what our story is about. So when we have stories, we have characters in the story, and I want to introduce you to the two main characters in our story entitled Tag. The first one is this fellow, and you might notice he's a tiger, and his name is Tig. Tig. So we're going to put Tig right there and put his name right above. So this is Tig. He's one of the main characters in our story entitled Tag. This is our other character, and her name is Doll. Doll. So our other main character is Doll. So we have two characters in our story today, and they both play an important role. And so this is Tig and this is Doll. So before we begin reading a story, it's a good idea to go over the vocabulary words and practice sounding them out. So we're going to look at a couple of words. All right, here's the first one. Tags. Tags. So the objective of the game is to tag someone and get them out, right? So the word is tags. It's an action word. Sad. Sad. We'll be seeing the word sad in our story. Glad. Glad. Here's our next one. Sits. Slid. Slid. Lost. Lost. Last. Last. Still. Still. And then we have a few sight words. So do we sound sight words out? Nope. We just look at them and read them really quickly. We want to memorize sight words. So we've got a couple of sight words. This is the first one. It. I don't want you tapping and blending it. I want you to look at it and just say it. Here's our next one. Is. And last sight word that will be in our story is at. At. It is at are our sight words. So let's think about, why do you think some of these words might appear in a story about tag, the game of tag? Well, if you were tagged, you might be sad. If you win the game, you might be glad. When someone tags you, you have to sit still, right? You want to be the last person tagged in the game, right? And you want to win the game, but someone will not win it, and so if you don't win it, you lost. All right, this is an important word in our story today. Slid. So, if a baseball player is running to home plate and needs to try not to get out, they'll do that action word, slid. All right, I'm going to take these down and we're going to start reading our story. I'm going to read it for you, and then we will be reading in Zoom reading groups today live. But I want you to make sure you watch this video before we do that so that you'll know our vocabulary words. So I'm going to put our story up here. It's 2 pages. It looks like this. I want you to fold it back so you're only looking at one page at a time because it can be very confusing if we're looking at too many words at once. In fact, if you want to get a sheet of paper, you can even cover up the bottom as we read. Remember, we read left to right, so we're going to read across our page this way, okay? You'll see there are 4 boxes, so we're going to read across that way. All right, the title of the page is up here. It's T-A-G. Here's our character, Tig, and our other character, Doll. We're going to start in this first box, and you'll notice that Doll is in front, and Tig is running fast behind. All right, we're going to put our finger under these words, and these are all letters that you know the sounds of, so you should be able to tap and blend these words. All right, let's start with the first one. T-I-G. Tig. Sight word is. Sight word it. Tig is it. Tig is it. Try reading it quickly with me. Tig is it. All right. So that means he's the one going around tagging everyone, right? If you're it in the game of tag, you are the tagger. All right, we're going to move over to the next one. Uh-oh, I see Tig has his hand on Doll's shoulder. Let's see what happened in this box. T-ig, Tig, T-ags, tags, d-all. Tig tags Doll. Tig tags Doll. How do you think she's feeling about that? Look at her face. I think she might be a little bit sad. We're going to find out. All right, so we're coming down here to the box on the bottom and moving left to right. All right, I see Doll is now chasing Tig. Let's see what it is. D-all, Doll. Sight word is, sight word it. Doll is it. Doll is it. Doll is it. Now she is it, so she has to tag Tig. All right, we're going to move over here. T-I-G. Tig, S-L-I-D. Tig slid. Tig slid. Tig slid. Uh-oh. Do you think that turned out okay for him? He looks like he might have gotten a little bit injured. All right, now you're going to flip your book over. We're going to go to the top up here. Oh, and I see Doll touching Tig's head. Doll, Doll, tags, tags, Tig. Doll tags Tig. Doll tags Tig. So there she is. She's touched him. She's tagged him. All right, this has 2 sentences you'll notice. All right, let's read the first one. T-ig, Tig, lost. Lost. Tig lost. Tig lost. T-ig, Tig, sight word is sad. Tig is sad. Tig is sad. He's sad because he lost the game, right? Let's go down here. All, Doll, sight word is glad. 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 Doll is glad. Doll is glad. Doll, Doll, sits, still. Doll sits still, sight word at, last. Doll sits still at last. Doll sits still at last. One thing I want you to notice while you're reading, I see the word doll, doll, doll. Once you see a word repeat multiple times, you don't have to sound it out every time. Just learn to recognize it and say it immediately. So we know that word is doll. We also know that word is Tig, and we see Tig throughout the story. So try to recognize that. One thing I like to do before I read sometimes is take a highlighter and highlight the characters that we're going to see multiple times and know that I will see that word and I don't have to sound it out after I do it the first time. So you might think about highlighting Doll's name in one color and highlighting Tig's in another. All right, I'm going to open my book and I'm going to read this story to you quickly so So you can see what it should sound like after you've read it multiple times. Tag. Tig is it. Tig tags Doll. Doll is it. Tig slid. Doll tags Tig. Tig lost. Tig is sad. Doll is glad. Doll sits still at last. So go over your story before we read, and I will see you in reading groups, and I look forward to reading our first Letterbook story with you. We will be reading the story Tag today.